Hello, welcome back to 375 Alive. My name's David the Dead.
Ryan Speaks Geek.
And today we are talking about our top 10 most wanted retro collection figures for the original trilogy.
1, 2, 3. Biggs.
General Workman.
Ishitib.
Bespin Escape Leia.
Sodana.
It's the Rebel Honor Guard.
Leia Endor, Ewok Village.
Woo her.
I want a Han and Leia.
I'm going for Captain Rex.
I would love to have seen the WED Treadwell droid, but the one with the multiple one, the white one from the Jawa Sandcrawler lineup.
My number 5 was Biggs Tatooine.
So my number 4 is Other Rancor Keeper.
Weequay Skiffmaster. Cool.
My next one, sticking on droid themes actually, CZ3. I don't want to my health, like in respect of like CZ3, like.
Well, he appears in 2 films, doesn't he?
Well, we've got
the
broken one in like. I'm recreating the pose for everyone. Put the image next to it and see how good I got it. In Jabba's Palace and the Droid Torture Chamber, but obviously there's an armless one in the Sandcrawler.
Knocking back and forth.
Yeah, and then there's one that's just knocking about the
streets of
Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like, he was, again, one of those droids that just really stuck me, especially because I had the Star Wars Visual Dictionary, and that had a really big, full picture of him, and I was just like, this is such a cool droid.
Next question. Removable limbs.
Yes.
Yeah. Got to, haven't you?
Yeah. When you've got that whole bit where you can, because everything is from a business point of view, if you want to sell more of them, you can sell 3 right out the gate by having one that's walking around with all his limbs, one that's got both arms off in your Sandcrawler display, and then one that's in your Jabba's display that's got one arm missing and one just up like that. When take the legs off.
It's a droid army builder.
Exactly.
Wow.
There you go. You're welcome, Hasbro. And also I would get a few and repaint them into different colours to have around the universe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'd buy it.
I wouldn't. I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, cool. All right, top 3 now. Oh no, that was your number.
That was my number 3.
My number 3. Okay, a little bit clickbaity. I'm going for Hutt-slayer Leia.
Ah, okay.
Now I know she's been done by third parties. I know there's some great versions of her. Well, there's one particularly good version out there.
Yeah, the standard solo one.
Yeah. But for me, Hasbro, they should just do it. Just get it done. There's no reason why they can't. They did her in the 90s, Jabba's prisoner. Obviously, they've given us different iterations since. They can put some wraps on her if they want and recreate the deleted scenes. My thinking is, the retro, although it's a toy line, this is no longer a kid's line, is it? Hasbro have, they've said as much. This is a collector's line. It's an adult collector's line. So I don't see anything controversial in giving us Hutt-slayer Leia. She defeats Jabba. She's the main character from that whole scene that's missing now.
Oh yeah,
aside from maybe a bartender R2D2, but so she makes my list at number 3.
Yeah, I can respect that. It is a big omission. If I didn't have one from one of the third party, I think I would also put on there. But the one I've got is so good.
Oh yeah, this is it. There are versions out there available.
Exactly, but yeah, it was a big omission. Realistically, the thing is, I get the logic about the thing with the toys, but we didn't want to make a toy of a woman in a bikini. I guess is what the argument was. But then I kind of feel like some of the other stuff they made. It's like, well, look at the sex appeal of the Rancor Keeper. They didn't think about that. He was just shirtless, and his milkshake brought all the boys to the yard, and they didn't care about that.
I get the feeling he was probably on the payroll though.
Oh, that's true.
I can't imagine you make a whole lot of buck as a slave.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I would imagine the wages are probably worse.
Sorry. Yeah, working conditions not the best. No, I get why they haven't done her so far, but
yeah, I think
enough time's passed. This is no longer a kid-friendly line. I know you can pick these up in supermarkets and whatnot.
And that's the thing, you'd have to call her Hutt-slayer Leia now, because originally the figure was called Slave Leia. And I kind of get why they can't call it the Slave One anything anymore, and I get it's something you have to try and please everyone.
That stuff doesn't bother me. It's just a shit.
Because the thing is, the name on a card doesn't mean what I call it's going to be any different. No. I'll call my figure whatever. Damn one. Like the X-Walking pilots, like we said, that was meant to be Luke. It was not Luke.
Yeah.
Even in the retro one, the Luke Hoth pilot, again, just generic pilot. I got like 4 of them. On the note of pilots, my number 2, Wedge Antilles. Wedge is like He survived 2 Death Stars, man.
Actually, yeah, he's a constant throughout the whole original trilogy.
He's one of the only characters that appears in all 3 films.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, like, he appears in... Yoda only appears in 2. Jabba appears in 2. And, so other big... Lando only appears in 2. Wedge is in 3. All 3 films. And in key scenes.
Yeah.
And we don't have a Wedge.
No.
Well, again, X-Wing pilot, one of them... because you used to be able to get them a dime a dozen. Back in the 90s, the vintage figures, didn't go for the stupid amounts they command now. But, I had quite a few. And I remember I did paint a moustache on one of them.
Right.
And the other one I just made Wedge. But I never made... Luke was just Luke. I didn't even bother having him in his X-Wing gear. I just had a Luke figure.
Right, yeah.
As the pilot. So it was like the pilots were one that didn't have a moustache, that's Wedge. The one that did have a moustache, that's Biggs. Because the other thing is, I didn't realise the black visor bit, I thought that was hair.
I think I probably thought it was hair as well. Yeah.
Like, weirdly.
Fringe.
So
yeah, it looks more like Wedge than Luke. Yeah.
So Wedge was my...
Yeah, I like
two.
it. Do you think if Hasbro started going down the route of pilots, that they would go all out and do multiple? Because they do with the vintage collection, obviously, once they get a Stormtrooper mould or a Mandalorian mould or whatever, they will milk that for all it's worth. With original Kenner style figures, if they were to give us Biggs, Wedge, do you think they'd have the same body but just a different helmet, or do you think they'd have to have variances in the whole sculpt, like the 2 Bespin guards?
One of my honourable mentions is Porkins.
Oh,
and obviously being a bigger chap, like his body wouldn't fit the same there, but it still needs to fit in an X-wing. So, my one sort of thing when we look at the X-wing pilot, like can we get the face of the vintage X-wing pilot up here? One of the problems is his eyes are like Fisher Price, just 2 black dots.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of the other figures have like the little sort of more brown circle. It's very basic face looking wise, which is fine. But I think, if they were going to go all in the pilots, I think it would be that figure with the different helmet painting. I don't think we'd get individual heads.
So you don't think they'd update the sculpt a la like A and B wing pilots of 1983? No,
sadly not. I think it would be
1978
because they've got that mould.
Yeah.
And they've got the Hoth version that they made for the board game.
He's got one of the best grips for a for a blaster.
Exactly. So I think that if we are going to get that, I think I would like just a Wedge on his own, like just done. Preferably with a removable helmet.
I was going to say, could you go all out, do a removable helmet?
I would like that, but then I just don't see them investing in 6 head moulds for a 6-pack. Realistically, it'd be a 6-pack if they did the pilots, or even a 4-pack.
That's verging on HasLab.
Yeah, and I don't think we'd ever get a retro HasLab.
No.
Sadly.
No, probably not.
I think it's good though, because a lot of the HasLabs you can use with vintage stuff, like the Cantina and hopefully an Ewok Village one day, or a Sandcrawler, so I think they'll keep it in that sort of theme.
Yeah, I like that choice. I've got no pilots on my list, so thanks for representing there.
Represent the pilots.
Okay, number 2 on my list, going back to Tatooine, return to Tatooine. Garindan, the Imperial spy. Yeah.
Yeah, good shout. Again, Power of the Force 2 finally filled that gap, as well as Tarkin.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these figures were just made in the 90s. Like, you could see Hasbro had recognised them as figures that were omitted back in the 80s, and that they...
It did have a weird moulded cape that you
it wasn't the best.
Off. No.
You see some great customs of Garindan using the sort of Death Star commander,
yes,
Death Star commander, and like a vinyl cape. Again, it would have to be like a cloth cape, kind of like we haven't got it here. You can't really see it, but that Luke sort of Jedi Knight cape would work.
That would work really well.
It's nice just having things just
within arm's reach.
Yeah.
Things if I do that behind here, like it would just be like Donna. I mean, great for a video.
But yeah, again, like Return to Tatooine, I think they haven't announced the Sandtrooper, have they? Surely that's coming.
Oh, what, for the retro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they have.
Yeah.
Right.
So the retro 6-pack is Dr. Everson. I'm terrible at saying names in Star Wars, despite what a fan I am.
Oh, you nailed it.
Yeah, thank you. First try. Then we've got Ponderbaba, which is sadly just a reissue, not an update, and I was really hoping for the update. Then we've got the Rebel Fleet Trooper, Sand Trooper, Han Stormtrooper, Luke Celebration at Yavin.
Right, yes, okay. So there you go.
With
Even more reason then to have Garindan on the list then, because he'll be talking to those sand troopers. He's part of Tatooine. They are filling out that scene wonderfully.
I could see the next retro 6-pack, because let's be honest, they're going to be 6-packs at the moment because of the business model.
Yeah, well, I'm not a fan of that.
No, me neither.
Not
for troops,
right
but
now.
if it's the way that gets them out at the moment, rather than not getting them out, then I will live with it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I reckon the more that they sell of the 6-packs and the more appetite that's shown for it, the more that they could potentially go back to the business model of doing individual releases, or even doing a troop builder 6-pack, which is 3 sand troopers and 3 rebel fleet troopers, for example, rather than having one of each.
Oh yeah.
But you're totally up for that. But yeah, I don't know. I could see them doing the next 6-pack being another A New Hope one, and we get like Celebration Leia and Garindin. I could see it.
Yeah.
I hope.
We're getting closer to that 50th anniversary as well, so I think they are going to ramp up certain sections of. I mean, the original movie.
Might finally get your reissue X-wing that you.
Come on, Hasbro, do it, Steve. Come on, give us a new X-wing. Give us a nice, pristine white X-wing.
In Steve, we believe.
Come on.
So before my number 1,
okay,
I've got my honourable mentions.
Yes.
So I've mentioned a couple of them, obviously, like Rykin, Porkins, Cabe from the Cantina scene. His little mouse man.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Bat. He was a bat, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, Bat Mouse thing. Bat Mouse. Boshek from the Cantina.
Yes, I like that.
Because he talks to Obi-Wan. It's cool. Can have like a space helmet if you need, but just a cool. And also,
classic spaceman.
Yeah, just that's it. Because it was the 70s when Star Wars was made and came out. The first one. So, and some of those costumes were used in Doctor Who as well, which I absolutely loved, or vice versa. I want a second Chewbacca.
What, but the centre parting?
Yeah, effectively. Yeah. I think because every other character has different versions, I would like... and now we've got another Darth Vader, thanks to the Obi-Wan line.
Yes.
So that's why I've omitted Darth Vader from the list, because actually I really like that Darth Vader. It's really nice to have that second one. A removable helmet would be cool, but like I'm happy to have at least 2 different Darth Vaders. And I kind of want a different Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Yeah, only had that one figure, and it was pretty basic at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's so iconic, though. Like, making another Chewbacca now.
Yeah, but I don't think you would need to change the body at all. I think it is literally the face sculpt.
So you'd still have the head moulded into the body.
Yeah, I'd be fine because I think it would look weird having a joint.
Yeah.
But, a joint, I don't know, I'm doing the motions now.
He's got a very happy face as well.
Yeah, I think I would like a bit more of that sort of look that he's got when you see like the card image of Return of the Jedi. Or even when he's like in when he's repairing the Falcon. Even that, maybe that is the thing. Like, it comes with the little welding torch as an accessory.
Yeah, give him something. Give different.
Something different from the bowcaster, Okay. But that was on my honourable mentions list, and then the last one, not the most popular figure of the world, but I realise the Imperial Dignitary. I want just one more Dignitary at least.
Give him a buddy. Yeah,
because I just feel like the symmetry of Palpatine walking down. And I really liked the Imperial Dignitary as a kid. It was one that I sought after quite a lot because it was bright purple. And I'm obviously with my autism, I get drawn to things like colours and stuff. Yeah, it's a cool figure. But I like doing that Imperial march. And when the Emperor's sitting there and he's through him, I want a bit of conspiring. And I know there's 12 of them or 6 of them or whatever there is. There's a lot of dignitaries.
There's a lot of weird and wonderful sort of shaped hats.
I think I would have gone for maybe the one that has more the wide hat, the shorter guy with the wider hat. To have that kind of, Laurel and Hardy effect, I guess.
I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to pronounce the name.
No.
But I know.
I have several times in one video.
No, that's a good shout as well. Yeah, I like that.
That's my honourable mentions.
I mean, my honourable mentions would be, they'd generally be characters that have been made by the third parties. Like, I know, people say it, fans do the best work. And it's been shown over the last few years that they really do. So, yeah, like your pilots and your droids. With the next 17, you've got the Cantina aliens now and some of the Imperial officers. So many of them probably would have made my list. I'm not going to single any out, but they would be my honourable mentions. And I'm so glad, as a fan, you can go and continue your collection. And that's probably what gave birth to the Retro Collection, was the fact that the fans were doing such a good job.
Seeing that there is a market for it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Now to number one then.
Okay, number one.
It's a Y-wing pilot. Where is my Y-wing pilot from Return of the Jedi? I've got a B-wing pilot, which I barely ever see in the film. I've got an A-wing pilot. I've got an X-wing pilot. I've got pilots for things I don't even care about. I just need a Y-wing pilot. And do you know what? Third parties, you've all let me down because none of you have made a Y-wing pilot. No one's made a Y-wing pilot. We've got the Y-wing vehicle, which is the best vehicle for the Rebels because it has
a cool vehicle, yeah.
Removable droid slot where you can swap over. I've got 50 billion different droids from third parties I can put in there, but no fucking pilot.
Yeah.
I'm angry about the pilot. I want a pilot.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm not saying we don't need one.
I honestly think now that Monsieur Steve Evans is back at the helm of the Retro Collection,
and you have him on speed dial these days.
Yes, that is true. I do have him on speed dial, and mainly just to annoy him about the fact we don't have a barge still, which he tells me off for every time. And Steve will confess the amount of time he's put thought to our barge is way too much. But I do believe if we go the way that we're going with this 6-pack that we've got for A New Hope, and we do an Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi one, I think we will get a Y-wing pilot. I just cannot believe that no one else has made a Y-wing pilot.
Right, this is your number one. Break it down, head to toe. What do you want to see? Removable helmet, fixed helmet.
Do you know what? I'm fine with the fixed helmet with the pink type visor.
Pink type visor, yeah. The
grey suit. Because I know X-wing pilots pilot Y-wings in the A New Hope.
So we're talking Return of the Jedi sort of outfit here. The sort of the grey jumpsuit, yeah. With the sort of more rounded all over.
Yeah, the sort of rounded white type helmet with the pink visor goes across. It's really that's the thing because of the pink visor. It's really different from.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool actually.
But it would just stand out. It'd look great because you'd have orange, green, red, grey, as a combo.
Yeah, actually, they would all look pretty good together.
But we can put all the pilots next to their vehicles, and yes, like I said, you can argue put an X-wing pilot next to the Y-wing, but we've got a very specific Y-wing pilot outfit. And we got a B-wing pilot over a Y-wing pilot, but we saw Y-wings a lot more.
It wasn't just the B-wing pilot; it was the fact they then gave us the A-wing pilot, which kind of, I mean, I know they're different, but they don't look that different, do they? Side by side,
they're similar.
From the colour scheme, obviously, they're very similar. The Y-wing definitely has a different.
I would even settle for a B-wing body with the new head.
Don't compromise. No. This is your number one right now.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't. But if it meant I got one, if that was the only way to do it, I would. Because I just don't get why it's such an omission.
No, yeah, I say we've had a lot of pilots.
So many, Dave. I've got a snow speeder pilot, effectively, which is just got thicker gloves. He's just got a bit of padding for cold weather. I've got that specific thing.
The Y-wing's quite a hard ship to get complete now.
It is, but it's also one that people love, and they do try.
It's very, very cool
to get.
Yeah,
we've had Power of the Force 2 Y-wing pilots.
We've had multiple.
Down
the years,
but we've just not got a vintage one.
No, okay, that is a solid choice, worthy of number one.
And yours?
Mine is a main character. It's a Luke Skywalker. We've had almost every outfit from the original trilogy for Luke. Now that the Yavin ceremony's coming, but we don't have his Dagobah training outfit.
Oh, that is not the one I thought you were going to say.
Oh, okay. What did you think?
I thought you were going to say Final Duel Luke.
Oh, so that would be good as well. Yes, that would be an honourable mention. But I feel you can customise that with the Jedi Knight.
I did recently pick up a
body.
Second one for that.
Nice.
Purpose.
Dagobah Luke. We've got the Bespin Luke, which is what everyone, I guess, uses on their Dagobah. But the Dagobah training, especially as you've got the backpack and you've got Yoda, to recreate that scene, with, excuse me, whether you have like an open jacket or just the vest, I think that would be a solid choice. And it's a Luke Skywalker, so it's hell. Luke always sells.
Hopefully the third parties have done one.
But again,
you are right, yes.
Third parties have done them. But
clearing a mission.
Hasbro opens it up to a whole new market. I say I'm a fan of the third party stuff. I don't buy the third party stuff because I just don't have the budget with everything else going on with like modern Hasbro.
This is why we have a good agreement that you buy basically all the modern, I buy all the vintage, retro, and third party stuff. That way, between us, we'll have everything. We can live vicariously through each other's collections. It works nicely. It's a good agreement, because otherwise this might lead in a divorce if I start adding this as well.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, that is a
fair one.
He interacts with Yoda like
The playset, a playset would be good to have him on that.
Just would give a proper reason for the backpack.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did him again, they would probably put the backpack in, I would imagine.
They could put the backpack in. What was it? It was an accessory piece, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe an extra snake.
Yeah. Just something
snake.
different. Or
Or the little training lamp.
That'd be cool.
Or, I'm really going off piece now because I know this is your number one, but put him in a 2-pack with a Dagobah R2-D2, all covered in mud. Swamp R2-D2.
Oh, Swamp R2-D2. Or another dirtied up X-Wing. Get the X-Wing out!
It's a 3-pack. That's what it is. It's a box set and it's got the R2-D2.
We're going full HasLab again,
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, no, that's my number one.
All of Dagobah, the planet. Yep, that's a very good list. Right, we could go on. So that's our very restrained list for just the 3 films.
I'm amazed we only had one crossover, and it was the very first figure we mentioned.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I really thought we'd have more, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit upset you don't feel as strongly about the Y-Wing pilot, clearly.
I do, but no, we no one feels as strongly about it as you do.
Yeah, that's true.
I say I would buy it, but I just needed to hear your pitch for it, and
I've sold you on
disappoint.
it. There we go. Okay, well, I've sold you on it, and I hope I've sold you on it. I might start like a hashtag campaign.
Yeah. Why not? Y-Wing, why not?
Like that. Hashtag Y-Wing, why not? Cool. Right, I think that wraps up for this one.
That's great. Yeah, again, thanks guys for watching. What do you think of the list? If you've got your own top 10 or even a top 5, just comment below. If you think we're absolutely mad for some of these suggestions, then please comment below.
Yes.
If there's anything on our list that has made your list, again, comment below. Drop a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channels. I will post both of our channel links up here. Again, because I guess we'll be putting this out on each channel. And we'll see you on the next 375 Alive.
Hashtag Y-Wing, why not?